This week's episode of The Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Virgin America.
GoDaddy.com.
And Netflix.
Which one is it?
It's the one right there. Just.
That's nice. I'm gonna miss you.
I want to miss you too.
You won't even remember me.
Yes, I will.
With nothing better to do, get abducted by the crew of the Starship Alpha 2. They're from the planet Q, which, due to a space-time loop, is stuck in 82 and must be rescued. They need our heroes to discuss the latest news and give their reviews of games and movies too. Sure hope you're not confused. We swear this is all true, not just the premise too. The Totally Rad Show.
Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Totally Rad Show, episode number 46. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
The Totally Rad Show is your weekly dose of all things rad. We go to the weekly rad buffet, usually at a Sizzler. Pick out all the rad, juicy moments.
Are you afraid that you've done that
No
this
fruit.
one before?
No, I know I haven't.
Okay.
But there's no fruit on the plate.
Okay, thank you.
We put it together, a nice little sandwich slash salad soup combo, and bring you what is rad.
You know what's awesome about 46?
It's a great number.
You round it up, you're at 50.
We'll be there soon enough, Dan.
All right.
Soon enough.
Very interesting. I can't believe we've done that many.
I can't either. I want to talk about something. Oh,
Before we do it, we have to say we may be talking about a certain television
show
series
that came back
this week. So we want to thank Chris S, who sent us that in. That's Chris, comma S, not Chrisus or Crisis.
Well, his name is very difficult for us to pronounce. We don't know how to pronounce it, so we're abbreviating it.
So
But
we're
it's written
just-
right there, so
There you
for
go.
you to see.
Chrisus.
But this is we're not doing comics this week, but this was a very big week in comics, and I wanted to bounce an idea off you guys.
Oh, is that the week?
Bounce
was
news
this the
off you
thing
guys.
with the thing?
Maybe it is. I don't know if you
Why
Two things.
would we
Two
be
things.
talking about that?
Well, why is a good question. Yeah. Two things. The first thing, of course, is one of Dan and my favorite comic series is ending, Y the Last Man. That came out this week. We're going to talk about that eventually.
I read the first one, and
Well, we're going to talk about that in a proper comic section. But I just wanted to ask you guys, there's a new Captain America.
Yeah,
Do we have it? You've been reading New Avengers. And
I have been reading New
There may be a
Avengers.
spoiler. You may not know that Captain America died this year.
in
Civil
New
War.
Avengers?
Well, yeah, in the fallout of the
Civil War
Civil
thing.
War.
Oh,
Steve
yeah, I didn't read the
Rogers,
Civil
who was the
War.
Captain America, was
Yes.
killed.
Okay.
And we have
Whether
a
that
new-
may or may not be true.
Who is the new
in
Captain
the
America?
future.
Bucky Barnes.
Bucky becomes Captain America?
How the
Yes.
hell does Bucky become Captain America? He's like
That's
97.
actually heartfelt and awesome.
Yes,
It is.
I agree.
Well,
You
he's
should be
banging
reading.
his wife.
Ed Brubaker is doing an amazing Captain America right now. The Winter Soldier thing was how he brought back
Oh.
Bucky Barnes.
I can't read it now because I know that, but I can imagine
read all
reading
that
that
shit.
and not know, and like, and then all of a sudden
It's
they
pretty
announce.
awesome.
I will say, let me just say real quick, as somebody who is relatively new to the whole concept of comics.
Yeah.
I just went in and bought Avengers, the new Avengers issue 4, or trade 4. I got the 2 next issues for The Boys, which I am very much enjoying.
Yeah.
I don't get how this shit connects. Like at first I started with Ultimates, and then you were like, well, but none of that shit's actually happening, and I'm like, what?
Well,
But you
that's-
read the extras. You read the like hyperverse where that's
Yeah,
Ultimates
but
is-
now it's like New Avengers. So does New Avengers not there a different line than the Captain America line? But it's
No,
like
Captain America and the Avengers exist in the same Marvel universe.
right.
Yeah.
See, this is the shit.
The Ultimate Universe
This is what
right.
this is like a
Ultimate's weird. I
reinvention.
heard
This
that.
is like talking about, like, well, you know, Joe Montana was, wow, Joe Montana was like traded to whatever. You know, that's what this conversation is. Like, well, that's in this universe, and
At least
I
there's
can't believe
one
they ended that line
there's
there.
like one NFL
boy.
universe where teams are there.
There's AFC and NFC.
Yeah, but you don't follow like the stories. Because can't you have like, well, but can't New Avengers be coming out the same time Captain America's coming out?
Yes.
And those two
That's what-
storylines can't.
Right.
Continuity, that's a big thing. In fact, our buddies over at iFanboy just did a whole episode about continuity and how is it a good
Well,
thing,
but,
is
and
it a
that's
bad thing?
when we were at the panel. That's what the panel on Ultimates. They
Yes.
said the reason why Ultimates was so great was because they could go, okay, all that shit that we have to deal with on a day to day, we can get rid of all that
Yeah,
stuff.
the Ultimate Universe is basically, let's start from ground zero. Nobody knows any
Yeah.
history. It's all starting, and that was a few
Which I
years
did.
ago, and now there's history.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of people who don't know
There's
about
Ultimates
Captain America that much, and we should just say it so you understand how impactful this news is that Bucky becoming Captain America
Is like Robin becoming Batman.
But
Well, but
Robin
who was
does
never
he's
a superhero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like
Well, Bucky was a super. I mean,
he was more like
What? I thought he was his old friend from World War II or World War I or whatever.
Yes.
That he woke up and the guy was like 89 and was
Well, that's
banging his
the
fiancée.
Ultimate Universe. That's the Ultimate Universe.
Oh, see? This is what I'm talking about.
okay, all right.
In
That
616.
shit didn't mean anything.
In the 616 Marvel Universe, which is what they call
Is that the Valley?
yeah.
area code.
They call that that's the code name for the mainline Marvel Universe. Bucky died in the 40s, but
Well,
he
then
didn't
how-
really because the whole Winter Soldier thing. But anyway, it's very interesting and very cool. And now Captain America has a gun, uses a gun.
Nice. I
So
can get on board with
controversy.
that.
Yeah.
How's that controversial?
Well,
'Cause-
Captain America is all about just the shield and no weaponry.
And
Anyway.
yeah, it's
He picks stuff up and throws stuff.
Brubaker's doing a great Captain America. I recommend everybody reading it if you're not. I'm enjoying
cool.
it.
I will
Awesome.
check it out. Let's check out the show.
This week in movies, we are talking about Atonement, the Golden Globe winner for Best Drama and the Academy Award nominees out the wazoo. Atonement.
Yin Is that, real quick before we get going, is it the Academy Award for supporting actress, the little girl?
Little girl.
Or the one
Little girl.
older? Okay.
It is about a young girl who sort of sends some lives in chaos based off of stories she tells.
It's vague enough.
Yeah.
Based on a novel.
Based on a novel. Directed by the guy who did the Pride and Prejudice movie that came out last year that I really wanted to see, surprisingly,
With Keira
because I've
Knightley
never.
as well?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. So that is Atonement. You must have heard about it by now. This is what Alex thinks about it.
Well, Atonement. I'm gonna say that I had two wholly different experiences with this movie throughout the entire course of the movie. I was really enjoying it, loved the acting, was really emotionally invested in it, thought it was a beautiful film, and I also, at times, thought it was horrible. The acting was shit. It was so cheesy and cliche, like Leaving on a Bus. Keira Knightley is the worst actor in the bunch, which is funny to me that she probably got paid the most. So I don't know exactly what to say about the movie. I think walking out of it, I had more like for it than I did disdain. But it's also not my kind of story. You know what I mean? It's sort of a semi-hopeful story, but there's, and it's one of the stories where I'm like, there were a lot of times where I just was looking at Steve like, I wonder if Steve's enjoying this. And then there were times where I was like close to tears, like emotionally, like I was like, wow, this is a really great story. But I had both those experiences in the same movie, and it was really kind of confusing to me. And I really didn't know if I thought that should be nominated for a Best Picture, where a portion of my experience was really like, oh, you know what I mean?
That sounded like a review I would give something to me, but interesting.
But not this
You can
movie,
go-
just your
No,
review.
go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, Jeff, what did you think, sir?
I enjoy this movie. For me, the end made the experience, and I don't want to spoil the end because I didn't know what was coming. I didn't read the book. I didn't really know much about the movie going into it, And it really feels like two separate films. One is everything that happens before the war, and one is everything that happens after the war. And they're very stylistically different. I enjoyed them, both sections, in different ways. I thought there was a lot of interesting things they did with the narrative of seeing things from different perspectives and seeing how things can be misconstrued. I really enjoyed that. But without giving away the ending made the film because it does such an interesting narrative
Wrap up.
Well, not just wrap up, but twist is the wrong word. But there is something that it does.
The way it tells the story.
Yes, the way that the story has to have been told because we find out who was telling the story and all those things.
Yeah.
I think that what's her name? Who played? Oh gosh.
Who? Vanessa Redgrave?
Yes.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
is amazing.
I knew you were going to say that.
Amazing.
I know.
She's wonderful.
But the guy, James, what's his butt, did a great job.
James
I thought he was-
McAvoy.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Tumnus from the Narnia movies. Okay. I loved the first hour. So I'm like flip-flop from you because the last half ruined it for me.
Yeah.
I loved. It's cool.
I mean the end, not
Oh,
the
okay,
last
I got you.
half.
Okay, I got
the
you.
very end.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I love the first hour. The score in this movie is amazing. Amazing. Disagree? Okay, you can tell me.
No,
later.
I just
Okay.
I told Steve, I said,
I think we all
Dan
use
loves the music.
I think we all use amazing too much.
Okay.
I realize that.
Well,
like
it's
8 times
phenomenal.
too. Yeah, there you go.
The
Or
score is
epic.
phenomenal.
Bring that back.
It's like this. It starts out diegetic and becomes non-diegetic, meaning it starts out in the world of the movie and then becomes the score. You know, so like someone was
Yeah, the
angry and
typing.
pounding
Yeah.
on a car, and then that pounding became the pulse of the movie. Like the beginning was so whimsical and. The way the story was told was phenomenal, and it just had this momentum, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I just felt like I was like, And then the second half just, like, there were so many complicated things set up in the first half, and then none of that was really, it never went where I wanted it to go, and I never got to learn the things that I wanted to learn. And it seemed to really spend a lot of time spending a lot of time telling very simple ideas. For instance, there's a phenomenal shot that's a one take
I was gonna
throughout
bring
the
that up
war
too.
battalion.
Yeah.
It's
It's
amazing
spectacular.
shot. But it took 10 minutes to say, he's in war and it's terrible there.
Right.
I don't know. That
there's-
shot was affecting because of the shot, the
That
complexity
is
of the
true,
shot.
but I sort of want
It
to mention
took-
that to symbolize the whole second act to me. Just seemed to, okay, so this is really all that's happened. This is really what it's all about.
That
and yet-
actually, that shot took me out too. Because,
Really?
Oh yeah, because
It's very
I
choreographed.
Yeah, and I was like, wow. And all I was thinking was, wow. I wonder. I mean, like that actor was like
Yeah.
standing off while the camera like panned
Yeah.
by him, and he was like having a donut, chatting on the phone, and then he was like, 10, 5, 4, go. You know what I mean? And it's like,
I don't know. I was very emotionally. I was affected by that.
I was.
shot.
I
just
was
because
for
of
the
how
first. I was for the first
crazy it
until
was.
I went. Oh my God, this is the same. This is the first shot. And then like an actor that was in the shot at the beginning came back, and I was like, that's when I started getting into that headspace. It was still pretty, but
I actually found the theme of the movie to be similar to The Orphanage in some ways, and I thought that illustrated that idea more powerfully to me than this movie.
you mean The Orphanage did? Yeah.
Yeah. And other movies.
It was one of those movies where I was sort of a little bit thrown that this is the best pick. Like this is nominated as
agree.
the best picture, the best movie that was made last year.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't hold a
just didn't-
candle to There Will Be Blood or No Country for
Oh
Old
yeah,
Men for me.
no, most definitely. But I thought the acting was
Gone Baby Gone for them.
really good. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like I thought the guy who played the creepy, chocolate guy.
Yeah, creepy chocolate guy.
I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true.
What about those redheaded twins?
You know what was interesting too? An interesting idea, just to
Yeah.
that someone that I saw the movie mentioned this to me. I forget who I saw it with, but
I'm sure they're gonna.
I know the actor. They changed actresses for the girl
Yes.
telling the story.
It worked.
But yes.
Yeah, they did
But
not
they did not
change the
change
actress.
the actress who was
Played the other girl.
the other girl who was affected by creepy chocolate
Well,
guy.
and I think it's because she was supposed to be older than the other
Also
one, but not by much.
made creepy chocolate guy much more creepier.
Oh hell yeah!
Like sort of tied into that idea. I found that to be.
You know what else I saw this week is Away From Her.
Oh.
And I feel very comfortable with my pick of Julie
Good.
Christie.
Me too.
Did you see it?
No, we all voted for Julie
Oh, did
Christie.
we? Did we? Good, good. I
I've-
have it on.
I
I have a
have-
screener from SAG.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie where I was crying in the first 5 minutes.
Wow.
It's
I don't want to watch that
very
movie now.
powerful.
Okay, so we are finally talking about some news that I have been wanting to bring up and not knowing how, and not being relevant for so,
Just kidding.
for so, like, now we're finally.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Mark Romanek has been making The Wolfman, starring Benicio del Toro forever. I finally showed you guys the image.
Yeah.
Rick Baker, who did American
Everything.
Werewolf
Yeah,
in
yeah,
London, you know, doing the classic Wolfman, made by Mark Romanek. So Mark Romanek is a god in my industry. He's done countless amazing commercials. Music videos, he did Michael Jackson's Scream music video,
Nice.
Fiona Apple's Criminal music
Nice.
video, that great Adidas spot I was showing these guys earlier. That's a totally different sort of aesthetic.
The one where they fall in the pool.
No, the Adidas spot I was showing you with the makeshift where they're making the
That
all
was an
sports
ESPN
stuff.
commercial.
Oh, ESPN, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, sports.
I was like,
Okay, that being said, so apparently I don't really like this guy. So he also did 1 Hour Photo. That was his feature film debut, 1 Hour Photo,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
hasn't made a movie since.
I did not like that movie at all.
Really?
I didn't see it. The one with
I loved it.
Robin
Robin
Williams.
Williams. Yeah.
But the filmmaking is incredible. He's
Yeah, the
very
shots are nice.
perfect. He's sort of like David Fincher and Stanley Kubrick. He's known for being a perfectionist. Where he's left The Wolfman.
What?
Or either fired or left, I don't know, we'll know, but the budget was too low, he said, you know,
Yeah.
obviously a director like that, there's things, you know,
Yeah,
he's such a
sure.
perfectionist. And that image of Benicio del Toro,
It's spectacular.
Great.
oh my God. Now here's who they're talking about replacing. Brett Ratner,
Wah, wah, wah.
James Mangold, Descend to Yuma and Walk the Line recently,
Okay.
Frank Darabont,
That's not bad.
who's more similar aesthetically in his olden days to Romanek, and Bill Condon, who did Dreamgirls. I think I
Yeah.
might be forgetting someone else. So what do you guys
Well, I
think
will
of-
say that.
Anybody other than Brett Ratner?
Well, sure. I will say that this seems like a really exciting project, but I also remember back to when Wolf was coming out,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
thought, brilliant.
Finally.
Directed by Mike Nichols.
Mike Nichols. It's
Yeah.
going to be Jack Nicholson as a wolf.
Yeah.
I remember it was sort of on the heels of him playing Joker. I
Yeah.
thought at that time, this is such a great
Yeah.
casting. Seeing Jack Nicholson Wolf out is going to be incredible. Who's his co-star on that?
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so great. And that
also
movie
James
fell
Spader.
flat.
But that also was more like not a genre movie. It was like
No,
sort
it
of
was
this
about.
dramatic.
It was actually what would happen if an ad executive got bit by a werewolf. No, I mean really, it was like The Mist meets
Mad Men.
Mad Men
No, but it's like yeah.
with Wolf Man.
But I was so excited for The Wolfman because this director like is such a unique vision for
Yeah.
a genre movie, and now we're kind of getting genre, guys.
it's a different kind of genre. movie.
Right.
I mean, it's like it's like saying Dracula is being redone. You know what I
Right.
mean? Not Bram Stoker's Dracula, like the Count Chocula version.
Right. Wait, what?
Because we're getting
Right.
like the classic,
The
like
classic Universal
black
horror
and white.
movie.
Ah, guy
Right.
with beard. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Which is
Yeah.
cool. I'd like
think,
to see
I
what
think
that
Benicio
totally.
will knock it out of the park if given the
It's
right
Benicio.
situation.
And hopefully he won't allow a director like Brett to.
You never know. Plus, if you're looking for actors, Brett, I'm available.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to
I don't
write
want to hurt
something
people.
that I've done.
Yeah, I don't want
that's
to hurt
cool.
my chances
Yeah.
here, but he's an ass.
I mean, I hate to be such a hater of him,
punch.
but
Paint.
So the game that comes out today, as this episode is coming out, is Devil May Cry 4. And we're going to be talking about that next week, because we're all just started to play it. The game we're going to talk about this week is No More Heroes. And it's a Wii game, and like all the other Nintendo consoles throughout time, the big challenge for Nintendo consoles has always been third-party games. Is there a good third-party game? You always can depend on the Marios and the Zeldas and the Metroids and all
Karts
the
and Brawl and
exactly
wow.
the Smash Brothers and all the first-party games that we're gonna get on the Wii, and they're all gonna probably be great. But it's always a challenge for Nintendo to find third parties to come out with great games. Red Steel was another one that Ubisoft tried to do. Not so much. Well, No More Heroes is from Suda51, who's a very interesting game designer. He actually started as an undertaker before he got into video game
Wow,
design.
interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and his previous title was Killer 7 on the GameCube, a game I didn't actually play, but it got very mixed reviews. Did
Yeah.
you guys play
I
Killer
never
7?
played Killer 7.
And another game that his company did that he was involved with was a game called Contact on the DS, which I did play, and it's very bizarre and interesting and cool.
Did they do 13? the game 13?
I effed
don't
up,
think
dude. I
so.
told you 13 and it was Killer 7. Because those are blended in my brain. Do I,
It's that cell-shaded look.
yeah, that's why I said it. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's
It's my
okay.
fault.
It's
Contact
all
is a
right.
really interesting game. It's a DS game where they actually they talk to you as the player, and you're like, there's like 2 different worlds, and they need you to talk to.
I see.
It's very interesting.
Okay, cool.
So No More Heroes is a game about Travis Touchdown, a geek like us who
Well,
No, not
I don't know if I
quite
call
like-
it like
he starts out like us.
Don't you put that evil on me.
He's into the stuff that geeks are into, and he buys himself basically a lightsaber from eBay, and decides that what's he going to do with all his spare time but become a master assassin with his lightsaber.
Yes.
So it's a Wii game, and try to describe it a little bit before we get into opinions,
Sure.
because it's very different. It is a sword play game. It's a third-person action title. There's kind of an overworld, kind of GTA-esque, free-roaming overworld, and the missions involve you having to climb up the ladder of the top 10 assassins in the world. So you're killing them to move up. And the control of the game is with the Wiimote, you're pushing buttons to attack, and then you'll have finishing moves that involve moving the thing in specific ways, throwing moves that move the nunchuck and the Wiimote in specific ways. So it's very Wii-centric gameplay, built from the ground up on the
In order to
platform.
recharge your thing, you got to
have to
go and
shake
shake
it,
like this.
jerk off.
And you got to spin around it if you're in a block connection thing.
Yes. Alex, tell us how much you hated it.
Well, let's not talk too much about that. First off, welcome to the time at which my flame wars start. I think I would have really enjoyed this game on any other platform. I like the tone of it, I like the style of it, I like the concept of it, but I felt like you really see the lack of, like, it just seems like it's not, the story can't be big enough, like you know, there's not very often talking to you, and it feels like that's because of a limitation in the technology, not because, you know, and then it really is a very, very tiresome button smasher. I mean, you know, you're
What
just
do you
literally
think
going,
about
ta, 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 and then this stuff just adds that extra annoyance, especially recharging the thing. I'm like, so I'm being forced to do this in the game. And I had a fun time. Like when it started, I was like, oh, I'm gonna like this. I start with the first guy. I go through his like lower minion guys, kind of making my way around, which was fun. And then I have this epic assassination battle. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Then it became a sort of low-rent GTA where the challenges are not fun by any stretch of the imagination. Like you're picking up coconuts and.
Well, the conceit of the game is that in order for you to be able to fight the next assassin on the top 10 list, you have to earn enough money to pay your entrance fee.
Right.
And the way you get money in the game is you have these little mini games that are very mundane, like mowing lawns or connecting coconuts.
And I can understand that the whole joke of it is, look at this master assassin collecting coconuts.
Right.
And that's funny for about half a second. And then I go, wait, you mean I actually have to fucking pick up coconuts? This is not fun. There's nothing fun about going, you know what I mean? So I think overall, I had a very unexcited thing with it, and it made me sort of sad because when I started the game, I was like, this is a game I think I'm gonna like.
Yeah.
Laser Katana, boom.
Dan, what did you think of it?
I feel similarly. It's a game that I do not share a sense of humor with Suda and the people that write this game.
Luigi Suda?
Taking a crap to save the game, not funny to me. Like
right.
none of what was said was interesting, or it was like bizarre and weird and out there, and not my sense of humor.
Right.
I did enjoy fighting with the katana much more than I thought I would, and it gives me hope for another game to do a similar thing that I might enjoy more. I didn't feel like I do normally with the Wii, where like in Mario, I wish I could just jump by hitting a button instead of having to do that. I seemed to get more casual. I didn't like take big strokes. I just sort of was like, and I was like, wow, it's sort of making me feel like I'm doing something with my lights. It made me feel like I was sword fighting in a weird way, a little bit. There's promise there. The open world GTA thing was absolutely horrent. I'll shorten that for you. Abhorrent. It was like
I think you lengthened it.
maybe I did.
We made it one word instead of
the graphics.
Instead of a
rambling.
The graphics were terrible. Terrible. It was like shovelware, but you know, it was like I don't get how they could put that out. But
I actually agree with you, Dan. I think it's unfortunate how
What about me?
hard. Well, I agree with you too.
Thank you.
I mean, no, actually, I liked the game a lot.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I thought the mechanic of fighting was awesome. I had so much fun doing the finishing moves. The fact that you can do a finishing move after every enemy, and it's not just something that you do once. You know, most fighting games, a finishing move you do once in a while. This was like everything. I felt like it was fun to do the throws. There's so much interesting kind of attacks and ways to use the Wiimote. I actually liked the recharging thing because in the boss battles you would inevitably run out of juice and you'd have to run in the corner and it's frantic and it's very fun. It's unfortunate how bad the graphics really are because they really are an eyesore, and I think that somebody who only has a Wii probably plays it on a standard definition television, doesn't have an HD system.
I played on an SD television.
Yeah. And you still thought it was bad looking, and it is. It's not good looking. But I think people who like decided that the Wii was their system of choice, I think people will really like this game. And it's got a very over-the-top aesthetic. I mean, clearly this guy really likes Quentin Tarantino movies. It feels like Kill Bill, but it's got this cool old arcade aesthetic also.
Yeah,
like the first Virtua Fighter.
Which seemed weird.
But like Galaxian.
Yeah, like the whole like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The high score.
Oh yeah.
But that didn't. I mean, that stuff. It seemed almost incongruous.
We really should emphasize, because we didn't, how gory this is. I mean, you just mentioned that thing, but a Wii game that is curse. I mean, wasn't there cursing?
Yeah, well, he tries to bang, and like that's the whole thing is that you know.
Yeah, I found that stuff kind of distasteful and not fun.
That's the game. I mean,
but
that was the theme of the entire
game. The mechanic, the way that he uses the Wii, I really, really found fun. But I didn't play as much of this game as I probably would have normally because I kept going back and playing Rez HD, which was just released on the 360 as a downloadable arcade game. And I found to be absolutely addictive. I never had a chance to play Rez when it came out on the Dreamcast.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was PlayStation. It was Dreamcast?
Yes, it was. It was Mizuguchi is the designer, and he was a guy who worked at Sega, did Space Channel 5.
Yeah, that's
funny. You brought up one of you guys brought up the Scream video. You did Michael Jackson Scream video. And I was like, oh, could I be talking about somebody else who's kind of like Space Channel 5? Was kind of like the Scream video.
Right.
Yeah. He did Space Channel 5, Luminous more recently, and Rez, and they were sort of the very kind of baby steps in getting music games, and not so much music like Rock Band and Guitar Hero music games, but other genres that involve creating music as a side effect.
Explain Rez, because it's
so Rez is kind of like Tron. You're infiltrating. You are a virtual avatar infiltrating a computer system, and it's an on-rails shooter like Panzer Dragoon, Orta, or various other on-rails shooters, where you're being guided through this experience and have to shoot all the stuff that comes into your view.
Like Space Harrier.
Space Harrier.
Love Space Harrier
Me too, dude.
There's nobody
The
who
music
doesn't
in that
love.
game with this fucking ceiling.
There's nobody who doesn't love
Yeah,
Space Harrier. Anyway, but as you attack the enemies and kill them, your attacks, you can link the attacks, and your attacks create beats and rhythm, and you're kind of creating a song as you go. Your avatar evolves as you get closer to the core of the computer, and it's all very trippy looking, and it's really great that it's on the 360 now because it supports 5.1 surround, which was amazing.
Yeah, I wish I had surround.
I was totally addicted to this game. Dan, did you enjoy playing it?
Loved. I was talking to you guys. I want to get a home theater in the box because I want to really. For other reasons, but one of the reasons is everyone's talking about the 5.1 sound in this game, and I'm digging it. I bought it. I beat the second level.
Oh, I beat all 4 levels, dude. Come on.
That's why your gamer score went up. I knew that's what I was saying. I really liked it. I thought I was gonna be blown away. I wasn't blown away, but it was fun when you're first when the beats out evolving, you know, as so much fun.
What about the boss battles?
Boss battle epic. Well, I've only fought 2. I actually remind me more of the Lawnmower Man than Tron.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It's so similar
Yeah.
Alex, did you like it?
Yeah, I mean, it was the same. I had the same sort of feeling that Dan did. You know, I didn't go the step further to buy it, but I played all the way through the demo stuff to the last boss battle, and it was really, really fun. And there's something really satisfying about being in a different way than like a rock band is satisfying, where you're like, I'm making the music, where you're like, holy fuck, I'm like really making this music, and somehow it's working. That was my big thing when it first started. I was like, doom, psh, and I was like, no way. And then by the end, I'm like, and I was like, well, yeah, I'm doing
Oh, do you
this.
guys like? I'm just like playing a shooter.
No, me too.
Well, you
but
can play,
but it actually
synthesizes
sounds
into
like,
Right, no, totally, but
I didn't think that there was any way it would sound like anything other than some like a 4-year-old falling onto a drum set. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, there's no way this is going to be musical, and it really became like this fun little like, I'm making music.
How cool is it that a game that came out so many years ago and you probably couldn't find nowadays is still relevant, still fun. In HD, it looks great.
Well, that's what's so great about the Xbox Live Arcade. I mean, it's like these, and PSN, and the Wii Network or whatever the fuck they have. But it's like, you know, it's great that there are like these little games that can find life in a world where if you don't have a $1.5 million budget, you're not going to make a game. You know what I mean? It's
in
so
a
great.
world where you don't have a $1.5 million budget.
That's low. 1.5 is low. Talk about more than that.
Schmankin'.
So, here we are.
Lovely winter Los Angeles day.
Yes.
It is.
I am holding a Ripstik
and it's not
in
bright
my hand.
anymore.
I wish it was a hoverboard, but we are not in the future, so this is what we have to deal with.
You're obsessed with ways to get around town, aren't you?
Yes.
I am.
In the spirit of Heelys.
I hope we rip this up.
Yes.
Unlike Heelys.
This is a
I've tried to rip it
Ripstik,
up.
and we watched the instructional how-to video.
Welcome to the Ripstik Ride Guide. This video will teach you step-by-step how to learn to ride the Ripstik caster board. Step 1. Get familiar with your Ripstik.
So the way that they said that it works is, this is the nose, that is the tail. It is only designed to go in the direction nose to tail.
There's only 2 wheels. They
Caster, and you like go like this to make it move.
Which I'm excited to see you do that, bro.
It's like a roller racer. You guys remember roller racer?
It goes like
Yeah.
this, see?
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, here we
well,
go.
let's see what happens. Let's just try this crap.
All right.
Step 2. Getting started. Set your Ripstik on a smooth, flat, or slightly downhill surface free of rocks or debris. The best way to learn how to ride is to have a friend you can hold on to for stability.
So I'm gonna
Hold on to me, sir.
you
better hold
do
on to me
that,
right now.
and then I'm gonna hold on to you.
Oh, he's happening!
No, you're supposed to be going.
Wait,
no, you're supposed to
we
go.
walk together.
Do you remember speed equals stability?
Speed equals stability.
All right, let's go.
Push him.
Oh,
I mean, don't push him.
don't push him.
Interesting.
Are you doing it?
Are you doing it?
Walking with you, I'm your buddy. I'm your buddy.
Don't let go.
I'm not even holding you. You're
There's a
holding
lot
me.
of not good coming out of
Speed
it.
is stability.
All right, let go, let go. Dan, let go.
Oh!
Dan, let go.
He's doing it!
Dan's doing it.
I would like
Did
to
you
point
eat
out
before
that
you did this?
Dan's grip on my shoulder
Is a death, Vulcan death grip.
claw-like.
It's the dim box. Let go.
Okay.
Dan,
okay,
let go.
Okay.
You push off with your back foot and then put your other foot on, because that's how you're supposed to do it. There you go. Just like that. Are you twisting?
Yeah.
Right? Weird, right, Jeff?
Yeah, it's weird.
I feel the hawk claw. Are you ready? Because there's a pull.
I was doing it!
There you go. Oh, yeah! He's doing it!
Oh, Jeff! Ready?
Yes.
Is my buddy prepared?
I am prepared.
I know. Okay. Oh, fuck it. All right, here we go.
Go for it. You're good, you're good,
Oh.
you're good.
Oh. Whoop.
Oh,
Weird.
wow, he's off me fast.
Okay. Whoop.
It's happening!
All right, hold on.
Spin,
Twist,
spin,
twist.
twist.
I'm trying.
It's
Hold
in the
it.
hips.
Hold it.
It's in the hips.
Okay, well, hold on.
Twist.
I'm twisting.
Well, he's lasted the longest.
Yeah, but I lost momentum. It
gotta
wasn't
get-
the balance thing. It was I lost momentum. I think I'm okay without the buddy.
Okay.
Well, you gotta maybe do with
No,
the buddy.
he's too good for a
Twist.
buddy, Dan.
I'm not too
Twist
good
with
for
the buddy. Try twisting with the buddy.
That's good, it's good, very good. Very good. Speed equals stability!
Turn around.
I know. Hold on.
Come towards us.
And that was the last time anyone saw it. You can do it. Oh, he's on, he's on.
Oh, yes, Steve,
on.
come on.
Twist your hips,
This
twist your
way,
hips,
Steve,
twist your
come on.
hips.
Twist,
Twist them,
twist
you're not
your hips,
twisting
twist your
anything.
hips.
Steve, you're not twisting.
right, I'm twisting.
Moving forward. Come on, Steve.
Twist,
Come
twist.
on, walk. Jeff, walk him.
Twist, you want to twist?
Jeff, you gotta walk him.
Twist your hips aren't twisting. Twist them.
Yeah, move your
Twist.
feet back and
There you
forth.
go.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
Step 3. Gaining speed. Unlike a skateboard, which requires stepping off and pushing with one foot to gain speed, the Ripstik allows you to speed up without ever taking your feet off of the deck. Step 5. Stopping. Stopping the Ripstik is easy. Simply step off.
He's going downhill.
He's going down. He's going to be toast.
Just like a toast. So we just ripped it
Yeah.
with our stick.
Oh, gosh. You guys go
Aren't you running a marathon
What do you
soon?
think? What do you
Sure
think,
I am.
Alex? What do you think of the Ripstik?
I enjoyed it a lot. I'm excited to try it with your shoes on again because I think it's going to be really, really fun.
Much more fun than the Heelys was.
Way more fun.
It's the way more fun twins.
It is.
I'm gonna say something kind of serious. So I
love
was
you
thinking
too,
about
Dan.
I do love you guys. When I was seeing Jeff doing that, I just had this twinge in my heart. I was like, you know, we do very niche. We talk about very niche things, and it's so enjoyable to find other people that like that thing.
Yeah.
And I've always been someone that when I see really odd things, I'm fascinated by it. I want to try it. And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and my whole life, I never would have found anyone that would have done what we just did today. Like I've always wanted, like, I would love to buy. Most of my friends growing up, I would have bought something like, "What?
Right.
You're an idiot, Pogs? You know what kind
Right,
of
yeah.
right?" Although I did have whatever. But it was cool that I could just buy this today, and you guys are actually enjoying it and getting as excited about it
Yeah.
as I am.
And
it really makes
That's
me feel
totally
good.
rad.
I'm definitely as excited, if not more excited, because I'm excited to do it again.
Yes.
So if you see us too.
So we're back, hitting up the television. This week was a big week. I mean, you know, any week with one new episode of any television series is a big week for us
Nowadays,
right now.
with the writer's
We're
strike.
really starting to feel it. I just watched the Christmas episode of House came out on Tuesday. The Christmas episode. Like
Oh,
they just
wow.
holding it back.
Oh wow.
You know, just about to. Can we get it out in February? No, that would be weird. All right, last episode of release in January. Okay.
Wow.
But we get a series back. Dan's a big fan. We kind of lost, you know, our steam, but maybe we
So
got
to
it
speak.
back. Maybe we got it back. Lost came out with the first new episode, and I think they're going to do a string of new episodes
8.
For a while. Eight in a row.
8 and then it's done.
No,
or...
8, and then hopefully the writer's strike's done, and we can put out
we
more.
can get
see.
more, right?
And
Evidently,
Jeff-
it ends.
so-
It kind of semi-wraps up after 8, but it's
Yeah.
not like Lost style cliffhanger.
So we lost interest, Jeff and I, and Dan actually at the same time, kind of
Yep.
all lost interest midway through the third season,
Yep.
right?
I would
And
say within the first 3 or 4 episodes. Of
me
the third
too,
season.
me too. Third season was really disappointing for me at that point. Dan ended up tiptoeing back into the cold, cold water that is Lost, and started enjoying himself again. And to the point where, when the season finale happened, he said, "You guys should really watch the season
Yeah,
finale."
it was on one of our older episodes.
It was
you
actually.
Want to click
If
back?
you guys want to watch back?
Yeah.
Episode 12.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well,
At all.
amazing if it is though.
Yeah, how great would that be? Let's
Yeah.
see. It's not gonna be. But anyway, so I watched that final episode, which now that I've seen the wrap-up thing, I think it was a mistake for me to do that. But Jeff went back and, like a
Well,
good
we
soldier.
got a bunch of emails of people like, you got to give it a second chance. You got to give it a second chance. I rented all the Blu-ray versions through our friends at Netflix,
We'll talk about them later.
and
Twitch.
I got re-hooked on the show. I have to mea culpa on everybody. You were very right. The second half of season 3 rocked my world. I was so back in it. And I also think a lot of it is true about what Dan said, which is it's a better show when you watch it in a chunk. Watching it week to week, this show is about expectations. And
it's like
it can
24.
It can be very frustrating not to get answers to questions that have been set up. But when you're watching it in a chunk, you don't have that same expectation because you know, oh, I got like 4 more episodes I can watch just on this disc.
Right.
And you get an answer 4 episodes later.
Yes.
Well, let's not get
3
too
months.
much into them actually giving us answers about anything.
I was really hooked. I was emotionally tied into the Charlie situation. I found that to be very. I think this show.
Well, let's talk.
Okay.
Let's talk about the season series premiere, which will then have a lot of what you're saying involved into it.
What do you think of
Well, hold on, Dan. So one thing that I wanted to mention about the season premiere, which I think was a very, very cool thing that I would never have watched had it been any other series, was an hour recap of the entire season 3. I thought that was genius because I watched that the night before I watched the actual premiere, and it fulfilled all the things that I think you were talking about with the way that you feel connected to the series. I was like, oh my God, how did I not know? But like Jacob, the like creepy ghost thing, I was like, well, that's awesome. When did I not hear about that guy? So the season premiere was last night. Jeff, what did you think?
I had fun with the season premiere. I think that my whole approach to this show has had a paradigm shift. I think that this show is all about expectations, and if you have certain expectations, you will not enjoy it, and if you have other expectations, you will enjoy it. I think the show, because there are these giant looming questions over everything, it can be very frustrating to watch if you're really looking for those questions to be answered. But if you're watching the show to be what I suspect the creators of the show think it is, which is a character piece, an analysis of these people in this situation and kind of these little morality plays each episode, that can be very, very fun and very, very entertaining. I love that we're getting flash forwards now. I think that's if they carry that through the whole season, I love how they have flip-flopped that.
That is the modus operandi.
I'm so excited about that. And I don't feel the need to know everything about this island right away. I'm willing to let things slide. I also think that the show, I think what hurts it sometimes is that because they're dealing with such over-the-top, fantastical elements, that when they say things and they're meant to be metaphors or whatever, people take them as literal. Like, what if there was a magic box that a man came out of and it was your dad? You know, like that was a metaphor, but anything is possible on this island. So it's like, well, now there's a magic box, or, you know, these things that.
Wait, that actually happened though.
No, it was a metaphor. They went off the island, got the dude, kidnapped him, and brought him to the island. It wasn't a magic box.
Right, yeah, but I mean right, yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm back on board. I was excited. Not knowing who's alive and who's dead. What's a dream in the season premiere? It's the same type of thing with the magic box. It's well, is this guy really alive or really dead, or is it just a narrative device to explain what Hurley is thinking? So we don't know if we're actually seeing someone who's supposed to be dead back alive, or if we're just seeing the delusions of a crazy person. And because this show, anything is possible, and we don't know what the fantastic elements of the show are. Sure. We don't know if we're actually seeing someone back alive, or just seeing a narrative device.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of made it a little bit more clear than that. But now, Dan, what did you think?
I also watched the hour recap, and I was like, you know, even though I love the end of season 3, and I was like, oh my God, it's amazing, but so much time has passed, and I was like, I don't care that Lost is back on at all. But seeing that 1 hour recap, I was like, like so fucking like having sex all of a sudden. No.
And I was like,
but no, I was so much more invested into the story, and I could not wait to see what happens next. And I too have had a sort of a paradigm shift. Not for me, I don't view it as more of a character show, because I don't really like the characters that much. I've never really liked anyone, and I don't think anything that great is happening with them. But I really feel like, okay, it's a mystery. It is like Hitchcock, this show, and I'm just going to respect the fact that they are really doing incredible things with unfolding this mystery. A few addendums to that. But one more positive thing about that is that, you know, when you watch that, because this show has gotten so many complaints about nothing happens, nothing's explained, whatever. But when you watch that recap from episode, it shows you what happened episode 1, season 1, to where we are now, I mean, so much has happened. And when you think back that the big mystery was the hatch, remember how we were all like, oh my God, what's in the hatch? Remember that?
Right, yeah.
Dude, and where we're at now, we've gotten answers big time.
Well, but also...
It's how it's being told. Hold on.
Yeah.
And there's a funny moment in the pilot where he says to Kate, Jack goes, man, how did we get here? And I was like thinking all that, wow, it's not an easy explanation.
Yeah.
But I think where the show has some issues for me is something that Jeff said, is that anything is possible. And when it's sort of, I fail to have, my only tension is in what are the answers, because you can never trust anything as gospel in the show. When they say don't answer the thing because they could be there to kill us, or don't answer the thing because it's like, well, I'm gonna be shocked. They're trying to shock me with the answer either way.
Right.
It could be A or B, and either one will be a shock. So I'm not shocked, because I'm expecting both of them to happen. Like the big mystery of who's the funeral that we got at the end of season 3. It's like, well, anyone can die. They could be, they weren't sad that the person died. Well, it could be someone who I would think they'd be sad, but I haven't seen what happens next, so you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
yeah.
the show constantly F's with you, so you never really can trust it.
It's what we've talked about before about rules.
There's something very cool to that. Right, I was thinking
there aren't any rules.
Right. But that being said, man, when Hurley's yelling out, I'm part of the Oceanic Six, I'm like, oh my God! So there's only, but then you think, oh wait, but
who cares?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Well, this is the issue that I have with this show, because I also enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it.
You took your pants off.
I was like,
pants?
well, I didn't really have. Well, yeah, there were.
I
had my hater cutoffs on, not full pants.
Dude, you had hater overalls, man. You're like.
Well, either way, then in that case, no, I did not take them off, because there's nothing that it's done so far to make me think that this is going to go into my top shows list. I'm gonna watch it because what else is there to watch? And I did enjoy watching the beginning part, but I feel a lot like you do, which is anything that happens doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, you're so-and-so's father, dun dun dun, and I'm like, okay, that's information. Thank you for that. Different. But it's not like, you know, like I'm sure everybody has seen the thing, you know, like body wanders off. Wait, what? And I'm like, who cares? Okay, well, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if Charlie comes back and he's actually alive, I will go, okay.
Spoiler alert.
No, but everybody saw the end of the last episode. But so it's like, and that's even what, it's not a spoiler. You know why? Because in 3 episodes, he's gonna walk in like it's nothing, and all of a sudden Hurley's been crazy the entire time. Like, he's gonna wake up on the beach and the first 10 episodes never happened. I mean, that's the type of stuff that could happen. Yeah. It's cool that it could happen. It's cool that this show is that show. It's just that, and maybe it is the sort of paradigm shift. It's like looking at the show as a show that will never tell me the truth.
Oh, I think not never.
Not never.
Okay, will almost always never tell me the truth.
You can't expect week to week to get. You can't expect solutions week to week.
Even though you're kind of going off of something I'm saying, like I agree with you.
Yeah.
Let me just defend this show in saying that I don't think it's about nothing. Like, I
don't
think they are
that at all.
saying things with their mystery.
No, and I agree that they're saying things, and the mystery's unfolding, and that's cool. And like I said, it will be a show that I will continue to watch and enjoy watching. But it's not my love.
You know what? Catching up to it also made me realize the performances across the board on the show are so much better than on Heroes.
Oh,
well, I mean, come on. Heroes had one good season. I think that was what Heroes had.
And it wasn't.
But the one thing I'm going to say before we tail off, because we talked about Lost a lot, one of my other very, very, very favorite shows, Medium, has come back on.
Is your Medium favorite show?
It's
your large favorite.
It's my large favorite show, and it's called Medium. It's a great show. If you haven't been watching it, it's a good. They're doing new shows now. It was told to be brought back as a mid-season replacement, which was a shame because it's a great show.
What do you like about it?
Patricia Arquette or Roxanne Arquette? Patricia. Jake Weber. It's just First off, Jake Weber and Patricia Arquette have the most realistic relationship I have ever seen two actors in anything ever have. Wow. The relationship between
The Shield.
Maybe. I have never seen that show.
Show ever.
But they like their relationship it's such about their relationship, and she's a freaking medium. I mean, at the end of the day, I was like, this is gonna be just one of those cheesy ass shows, and I started watching it, and I was like, all the characters are great, the acting is great, except for the lady who actually is the medium who this is based on, has a small role, and she's atrocious. But it's her show.
It's like Baywatch, like when they got the real lifeguard.
Right.
Why did I say that?
Why did you?
Exactly, Dan.
I didn't watch it, Baywatch, but I remember that happened.
Go back and watch the season 1 of Medium and give it some time. It's great TV. Well, before we get to our email, let's thank our sponsors. Virgin America is having a 5-day pre-Valentine's Day sale, right? Mm-hmm. Hotter to fly than buy flowers.
Much hotter.
That's what I say. Again, they are not releasing how epic it is to us because we are shills. We should know this. We should have some stock in this company. What's
you know
going
what?
on?
They show our program on there for airlines now.
They do.
How amazing is that?
Yeah, buy your ticket, book your flight by February 8th, and fly by March 9th to get in on the deal. And while you're flying,
watch
check out an episode of the Totally Rad Show.
On the back of someone else's seat.
Yes, and then punch
Of course, to me, I feel like we're preaching to the choir. Like they're watching our show. I'm excited for people to be
but if they're watching it, other people are like, what are you watching?
That's amazing. Look at that. Look at those three
So thank you,
attractive
Virgin
males.
America. Head to virginamerica.com. I thought you said attractive nails.
Also, GoDaddy is our frequent sponsor and
like,
good friend.
you do
If
this
you're interested in starting a website, there's only one place to get your domain. It's GoDaddy.com. They have domains as low as $1.99. They have easy startup software. And if you use our promo code, which is TRS1,
the number 1,
it gets you 10% off your order. We're helped. You're helped. It's a helpful hardware man.
Correct.
Netflix. Netflix.com/Totally Rad Show.
Really? www.netflix.com/TRS. Wow, how long?
I don't know. But what I really want to say is they have over 75,000 titles.
My balls.
That's Alex's fault.
I did that. That was mine.
Ringing. Okay, so Netflix also sponsors our show. They are a wonderful online renting service.
I just started watching The Wire through Netflix. That's just
I just put it
you
on my
watch
Netflix.
up to date. Saw Lost.
Saw Lost
Nice.
on Blu-ray because Netflix offers both HD DVD, even though they're like not happening anymore
Hey,
too much.
yeah, they are.
And
They're still there.
Blu-ray.
We don't,
Blu-ray,
we're not
the
endorsing
winner.
anybody yet. Dan.
I'm not endorsing it. I'm just informing.
All right, so Netflix.
They also have 40 shipping centers, so that means that you basically get your DVD that's the top of your queue like the next day.
Got one
Nice.
today.
Plans start as low as $4.99 and up, but there is a 2-week free trial if you go to www.netflix.com/TRS or Totally Rad
TRS.
Show.
How many times have you done
WWs are very important. Let's get to our email.
Email time.
This is from Jason Folds. Hey guys, love the show. I just came back from a tour in Iraq, and
Thank you.
yes, thank you very much. The sad thing was that they blocked your website and all proxy servers. Well, I guess not just ours.
They don't give them body armor, and they don't let them watch our show.
Exactly. So I wasn't able to download them, but luckily for me, I have a loving wife that would download them and send them to me on DVD. Although that's illegal, we don't want you to do that. I'm just kidding. It's like, who cares? So I was up to date, which is awesome. My question to you is, do you have a favorite pinball machine that you played as a kid or even now? We actually had some in Iraq, and we got to play them on occasion. P.S. The picture of him is actually with a gold-plated AK-47.
Holy crap.
That was Saddam Hussein's son's gun.
They confiscated
Holy
it. And took
gold.
pictures with.
I would. I'd be like,
It's like
gold-plated.
Call of Duty 4 when you go prestige, you get gold-plated weapons.
Yeah.
Like that's real. That's a real thing.
That's awesome. So, pinball machines. Dan?
I was never that good at pinball. I never really got the skill involved in it because I feel
Timing,
like
maybe.
What is it though? It's like
You gotta have a supple wrist.
because it's all about like when you hit the ball. I guess
song
that's what
says.
really affects things. You can really master that.
Yeah.
So I always felt like,
Excuse me.
is it just? Of course, I was never that good. So I remember a Terminator 2 pinball machine,
Oh, yeah.
and I do remember owning a tiny little personal one
Yes.
that I dug.
Yes,
But
the plastic one that like stood up by itself.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I don't know, guys. What do you think also about? I mean,
Pinball?
are my children going to even be aware of pinball?
Well,
because
I
the
will
only place
say-
you play it is an arcade.
No, that's true.
Or Iraq.
I will say, for me, I had that
Hopefully our
rich
children
friend.
aren't in Iraq.
I had that rich friend You know what I mean?
Me too.
Right? The guy who had
Silver spoons.
the guy who had the TurboGrafx 16.
The Silver Spoons
No,
household.
he had the TurboGrafx
Jaguar.
16. He had the Jaguar.
Yeah. 3DO.
We played Slaughterhouse 16.
Yes,
whatever.
Slaughterhouse. Yeah.
And he had like a pool table, a pony
Dude.
from not an actual pony, but like a pony
Wheelie
from a
bounce.
carousel.
Gold-plated weapons.
Gold-plated AK-47s that we shot.
Wait, you were hanging out with Sam's kid.
He had an
I was.
arcade
It's actually
game
really
that you had to
fun.
like open where the quarters go.
Right,
And
he
you,
had
like,
an actual stand-up arcade game
Yep.
and a pinball machine back
this
when
person.
nobody had that thing. And we would play pinball all the time, and it was the Simpsons pinball game.
I was gonna say The Simpsons.
Simpsons pinball game, and I loved it. Also, Crawl. There was a Crawl pinball
Well,
game.
hello.
It was very fun, yes.
Did it feature James Horner's epic score?
There was
I think
horns.
that was printed on the top, featuring James Horner's
epic score. Dan talked about the
And
Totally Rad Show.
his score is like 18
future.
million.
The future. He said.
That's a good joke.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said his score was like 18 million.
But then he
score.
was like, Dan Chuck from Totally Rad Show, as if that was my quote, and then he went, the future. Like, I said it in the future.
Oh man.
All right.
It's like
Now
a
we're
time
just
machine.
being-
What about you? Simpsons?
Just real briefly, I remember, yes, Simpsons. I dug pinball machines when I played them, but I remember as a kid, growing up in the specific time that I did, I always viewed pinball machines as the not much fun alternative to the video games, which is what I really wanted to be playing.
Agreed.
Dude, I'm gonna blow your minds. If you had 50 cents, you could play pinball twice or play
video
one
game
good
once,
arcade
yes.
game.
Yeah.
What were you going to do?
Good arcade game.
Good arcade game.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, what?
I said that's a good poll question, but we have another one.
Yeah, let's not go into that.
Yeah.
Speaking of poll questions, thank you very much, Jason. If you want to send in your email, you can please feel free to do so to totally the wrong email address at douchebagalex.com. Yeah, nevermakeit.mail.uk. You can send it to fans@totallyradshow.com.
That's also where you would send a background like our buddy Chris. I have to say, the bar has been raised pretty high on backgrounds.
Yeah.
I mean, every week it seems like they're just
Better and better.
blowing my mind. Anyway,
the
but
bar
if
is
you,
getting higher and higher.
If you want to know how to send us a background or templates or our logo to put in a background, it's all at totallyradshow.com. Also, there is a really great forum community at totallyradshow.com. You should check out the forums, click on sign up, and participate.
Bada bing. I know the social networks are dead, but in lieu of their death,
Yeah, well, before I tell you about I'll just tell you, myspace.com/totallyradshow. Become our friend.
easy. That's how easy it was.
Find out about the movie we're going to review ahead of time, but you can also do that at the website, as well as look at
As
over
well
to
as
the right.
right now, it's going to be the diving bell guy.
Yeah, Diving Bell and the Butterfly.
Yeah, for next week.
But that's just because we
But
know.
there's also the Rad Recommendations bar. So many of the things that we've talked about on the show, like No More Heroes, for instance, will be available on the Rad Recommendations bar on our main
Easy
page.
place to buy 'em.
Yeah.
And we have a big announcement.
Yes.
Wait, and the poll.
We
Unless you're going to skip that.
aren't going to skip it, but it's sort of like a poll. But let's just do the poll real quick.
Yeah.
Clearly, Jeff's poll was the winning poll.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a new poll, which is Lost, are you in or are you out? And maybe a couple shades in between.
Yeah.
Yes.
So check that out,
let us know.
vote.
The thing that Jeff was excitedly anticipating saying,
We're coming up on a pretty big moment.
we're coming up on our 50th episode, as Dan mentioned at the Topsies.
Rounding up, we're already there.
But also our year anniversary.
Which would be March 27th is when we debuted on the old interwebs.
That'll be our debut. So we've decided that we are going to allow you to vote on your favorite moments of our show.
Yeah.
And the way that we figured out how to do this, because believe me, that's not an easy thing.
There's a lot of discussion.
Yes, we have set up an email address, vote@totallyradshow.com. That's vote@totallyradshow.com. And what we would like from you is your nominations.
Yes.
Okay? So this isn't your vote. Well, I mean, it's sort of your vote. We want you to send those nominations for the best movie section that we've done over the year.
We have several
the best
categories.
video game section that we've done over the year. The best television section that we've done over the year. The best comic book section that we've done over the year. The best segment, anything other than those
Anything
sections.
other than those things.
The best segment. The best intro that we've done all year. The best background that we've received all year. And your favorite episode in toto.
So it's a lot of things. You can put them all in one email.
Or
What
send
we're gonna
multiple
do,
emails.
We're gonna look at all those emails and we're gonna tally up the ones that get the most nominations, and then we're gonna turn those into a place where you can go vote on our website.
Correct.
So nominate the ones you want. It's a great opportunity to go back and rewatch some of the old episodes.
Nominate a number of them. You never know. If you had a number of segments or a number of intros that you like, nominate all of them.
Yes. And we'll be converting those nominations into an actual thing on our 50th.
Right.
And then for our year anniversary, we're going to do a big deal about all that.
We're going to talk about the results. We're going to air some of those episodes in sections that you liked.
I am so excited.
I can't.
And you know what else?
Amazing.
Not only should we announce what the picks are, but we should maybe say what our.
Oh, we're gonna do some commentary on it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
it's gonna be real fun. So please, we need your help for that.
Oh yes, and I wanted to say for all you members of the Totally Rad Show Guild, on which the guild became so big, over 650 members, I think.
It's
at 500
incredible.
members, the game breaks. Blizzard says there never needs to be a guild over that, so people weren't showing. I wasn't showing up in the guild list. So if you're in the guild and you log back in, we've started the TRG Starter Guild, which is for characters 1
Did we say this was for World of Warcraft?
It's for World of Warcraft.
Well, I don't think
And
so.
love.
I don't think someone who watches Lost is like, wait, what's
What
happening?
guild? There's an oceanic guild?
Yeah, may very well be.
Well, anyway, that is it for this week's edition of the Totally Rad Show. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Kanata.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Until next time.
Slay rad.
Get abducted by the crew of the Starship Alpha 2. They're from the planet Q, which is must be rescued. They need a use to discuss the episode. Games and movies too. Sure hope you like
You guys can't laugh when I do it.
Totally Rad Show.
Should hope you're not confused. We swear this is all true.
Couldn't do it long enough.
The premise to
One right there.
the Totally Rad Show.
Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad. Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad.
What is it?
Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad Show.
Dan's convulsing
I
in the
know.
corner.
All right, here we go.
Listen, man. Are you listening?
Yeah.
Are you listening?
All right, here we go.